Hi everyone, I'm Omri, coming at you here from Brussels. You can see some typical weather, that's the reality on the ground. And I'm making this video to let you know that I'm running as co-president of Volt Europa. Now, I've had the pleasure of working with many of you in Volt across our teams, across Europe, for the last year and a half or so. I think that many of us have joined Volt because we feel an urgent sense of purpose, seeing all of the challenges that our societies face at the moment, existential challenges like climate change, like our democracies falling apart, nationalism rising, and an economy that is definitely in need of urgent transition. And we see that Volt, as a pan-European political party and movement, is the one way of activating citizens to fight for an agenda and change the way things are going, address those challenges in the 21st century. This, to me, is the most urgent contribution that I can make, and that's why I'm running for this position. I bring with me a certain amount of experience. I've worked in the European Parliament before, I've worked in Brussels as a human rights advocate, I've worked with many different civil society organizations and associations and so on. So I've seen how politics is done today, I've seen how politics happens, and I know how it can change, at least from my perspective. And I think that's a useful perspective for us to see. I'm used to working in a high-pressured environment and leading complex teams, complex networks of stakeholders towards an effective outcome. Within Volt, I've worked as the Belgian country lead, taking the team from the launch phase up to being a viable political actor. I've been a policy facilitator at the European level, drafting the mapping of policies and the Amsterdam Declaration together with many of you. And for the last year, I've been the expansion lead at the European level. So I've seen many different parts of Volt, and I can see how they interact, and I can see where we are and what we need. However, this is not about me at all, and it shouldn't be about personality politics. This is about the agenda, it's about the values, it's about the ideas, and it's about what we do together. So if we build up our priorities together, they can boil down to this: the vision, the mission, and the action that we want to take. When we talk about vision, it's about refining what our message is and what our ideas are. What is the kind of democracy that we want to see? We want to see a democracy where people participate and grow as individuals through a community that is nourishing and dynamic and creative. And we need to define our identity and make sure that our brand cuts through the noise, because that's the way that we're going to grow. If people can understand our story, understand our message, and that's how we maintain coherence. Then we have the mission, which is our strategy. What do we want to do together? We need to work on our long-term strategy, and we have our agenda of social innovation and community organizing to take our impact on the ground, to make sure that between elections, we build up capacity and influence people's lives on the streets to affect direct change in their communities, and then use that capacity to run and win elections. So between elections, we impact people on the ground and then build up that capacity to get elected and to win elections when the time comes to compete. And this is something that we need to do while defining our constituency, talking to people in society that we want to represent, and also build diversity. Diversity is crucial because we need to have gender balance. We need to be a welcoming and inclusive community if we want to represent the society that we want to work for. Then action. We need to professionalize, we need to put structures in place, we need to have integrated management of all our teams at European level, and we need to make sure that we use KPIs, that we use targets, and we use that to fundraise and employ full-time staff. For that, we also need sustainable funding, an integrated fundraising strategy that can bring in the money that we need to have a full-time team, to have proper resources, to be able to support all the teams that in countries where we need to grow, and to be able to maintain coherence across Europe. We need to put all that together, and we need to grow. We need to combine community organizing with communications so we can grow together. So that's pretty much it. You'll see a lot more during the campaign. This is just a launch video. I hope we have a very, very strong, positive campaign where many people can ask questions, participate, debate, shout. Make sure that you get in touch with me if you have any questions, and see you around. Bye-bye.